Echoes of the Scam, written by Brandon Valle Espinal. A few years ago, Matt was the victim of a scam that left him with nothing. He sold his car and his house and went into debt to the bank for $150,000. In all, he lost $250,000 to a so-called businessman, a 25-year-old with impeccable looks but no scruples. He promised wealth and lush investments. Matt, caught up in the illusion of a better future, did not hesitate to accept the offer. After making the deposit, the mystery man disappears. His website crashes, and his number turns out to be non-existent. Anger and frustration consumed him. He lost his family and all his belongings. Since then, his only obsession has been revenge. The shame of having been so easily deceived made him lose everything. His life changed forever. Like a beggar, he wanders the streets, thinking about how to catch the swindler with the money. To catch the con man, Matt had to become another victim. He would have to be convincing and perfect. He would have to change the way he looked, the way he spoke, and even the way he thought, so as not to arouse suspicion. Raoul Grammer, the con man, wasn't just after money. His motivation was a mixture of desperation and wounded pride. He came from a wealthy family that lost its fortune through bad investment. His ambition to regain status and power led him to create a network of scams. Seeing his victims as mere pawns in his cruel game only fueled his disdain for them. Matt had worked out a meticulous plan. To fool the con man, he had devised a false identity under which he could approach him. He had to gain his trust, but doubt and guilt plagued him. Was this the right way to go? In becoming what he hated, wasn't he also betraying his own principles? Every move was fraught with risk. Matt knew that one wrong move could ruin everything. The line between justice and revenge was becoming increasingly blurred. His desire for revenge and the internal struggle between justice and morality haunted him. Every document, every detail was a crucial piece in Matt's intricate plan. He had built a solid facade to fool the con man, but behind that facade, the stress and tension was palpable. The net was tightening around the con man. Matt had discovered his identity through meticulous research. He wasn't naive enough to deposit money on a simple photo or social media profile. He had meetings and even lunches, so he could identify him perfectly. Matt contacted an experienced detective, Fran, an ex-cop with valuable contacts and impeccable skills. Thanks to Francisco, Matt was able to identify the con man. He now knew his real name, his movements, his family and friends, and his new business. But as he got deeper into the game, something began to change. Matt began to question his own morality. Was he now the villain of his own story? The line between justice and revenge was becoming blurred, and increasingly, the weight of his decisions overwhelmed him. To pose as his victim, Matt had to gain the con man's trust. He first introduced himself at his door as an investor. At first, the con man was hesitant, But when he saw the amount Matt planned to invest, he was blinded by the money. Matt showed him $500,000 in a bank account and $20,000 in cash. He told him he had more contacts and partners willing to invest another $300,000. Raul blindly fell for Matt's story and accepted the $20,000, making him sign documents for the new cryptocurrencies. Matt had left a bug in the $20,000 and another on the table, hoping to get evidence of Raul's criminal activities. The moment of truth was at hand. Matt had discovered that Raul despised his victims, seeing them only as pawns in his cruel game. This contempt further inflamed his desire for revenge. According to investigations, Raul had swindled more than 60 people over the past few months, stealing approximately $10 million and severely affecting many families who were on the brink of ruin. The policeman who had investigated the case was not interested in anything but completing his mission and fading away. The business of infiltrating and revealing what was needed was lucrative for him, while thousands of families were left bankrupt. In his anger, Matt thought of murdering Raul. His hatred consumed him, and the idea of bringing this evil man down haunted him. However, as he planned his next move, a nagging doubt began to creep into his mind. Was his goal really justice, or was he simply seeking to vent his own pain and rage? In the game of deception, the line between hunter and prey is thin, and sometimes the greatest enemy lurks within. Matt remembered all those who had suffered because of Raul's lies. The betrayal had not only cost him, but many others. The decision to end the webs of deceit was not only to bring justice, but to end a wave of pain and suffering. He decided to do it for himself, for his family and friends who had also been affected. With the evidence he had gathered, Matt called the police to take action. The weight of revenge and justice intertwined in his mind, but in the end, he chose the path of legality.